Adolf Hitler's name casts a long shadow over the 20th century. He remains one of the most infamous figures in history, forever linked to the horrors of the Holocaust and the devastation of World War II. Born in Austria in 1889, Hitler's path to infamy began with his involvement in German politics following his service in World War I. His rise to power, fueled by economic turmoil and social unrest, transformed Germany into a totalitarian state and plunged the world into conflict. Understanding Hitler's life, his ideology, and his actions is crucial even today. His story serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked extremism, racial hatred, and the fragility of peace. Though decades have passed since his death, the lessons learned from his reign of terror remain as relevant as ever. It's a history we must confront, learn from, and vow never to repeat. Hitler's legacy is one of destruction, genocide, and the systematic dismantling of democratic values. Yet his rise to power also holds valuable lessons about the dangers of complacency, the seductive nature of propaganda, and the importance of defending democratic institutions. By studying Hitler's life and the events that shaped his ideology, we gain a deeper understanding of the forces that can erode freedom and lead to unimaginable atrocities. This essay will delve into the key periods of Hitler's life, exploring his early influences, his political ascent, the horrors he unleashed upon the world, and the enduring impact of his actions. By examining this dark chapter in human history, we can better equip ourselves to recognize and combat the seeds of hatred and intolerance that continue to threaten our world today. Adolf Hitler's early life provided fertile ground for the seeds of resentment and ambition that would later define his political career. Born in Braunau am Inn, Austria in 1889, Hitler experienced a tumultuous childhood marked by a strict father and a doting mother. His early aspirations lay in the realm of art, but his dreams of becoming a painter were dashed when he was twice rejected by the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. This rejection fueled a deep sense of resentment and alienation in the young Hitler. He drifted through Vienna, scraping by as a struggling artist while immersing himself in the city's volatile political atmosphere. Vienna at the turn of the 20th century was a melting pot of nationalities and ideologies, a breeding ground for anti-Semitism and German nationalism, both of which found a receptive audience in Hitler. The outbreak of World War I in 1914 provided Hitler with a sense of purpose and belonging he had long craved. He volunteered for the German army, serving as a dispatch runner on the Western Front. He embraced military life, finding camaraderie and purpose in the trenches. Hitler's wartime experiences, including his exposure to propaganda and his bitterness over Germany's defeat, profoundly shaped his worldview. The war's end in 1918 left Hitler deeply disillusioned. He returned to a defeated Germany, humiliated by the Treaty of Versailles and grappling with economic chaos. The seeds of his political ambitions, sown in the fertile ground of his early life and wartime experiences, began to take root in the fertile ground of post-war turmoil. Post-war Germany was a nation in turmoil, grappling with economic depression, political instability, and social unrest. It was in this climate of despair and resentment that Adolf Hitler found his political footing. Drawn to the fringe German Workers' Party, or DAP, by its nationalist rhetoric and anti-Semitic views, Hitler quickly rose through its ranks, transforming it into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or NSDAP, better known as the Nazi Party. Hitler possessed a potent combination of charisma, organizational skills, and a deep understanding of propaganda. He was a captivating orator, capable of electrifying crowds with his passionate speeches that tapped into the anxieties and frustrations of the German people. He skillfully exploited their anger over the Treaty of Versailles, the perceived humiliation of defeat, and the economic hardships they faced. The Nazi Party provided a platform for Hitler's hateful ideology, a toxic blend of extreme nationalism, anti-Semitism, and anti-communism. He promised to restore Germany to its former glory, to overturn the injustices of the Treaty of Versailles, and to create a racially pure Aryan nation. His message resonated with a growing segment of the population, particularly those who felt betrayed by their leaders and yearned for a return to order and stability. As the Nazi Party gained momentum, Hitler honed his skills as a political strategist, building a loyal following and ruthlessly suppressing any opposition within the party ranks. He surrounded himself with like-minded individuals, forming a core group of loyalists who would become instrumental in his rise to power. The stage was set for Hitler's transformation from a disgruntled veteran into a powerful political force. Section 4. A failed putsch and a blueprint for power. In 1923, emboldened by his growing popularity and sensing an opportunity in the political chaos gripping Germany, Hitler and the Nazi Party attempted to seize power in Munich. The Beer Hall Putsch, as it became known, was a poorly planned and ultimately unsuccessful coup attempt that landed Hitler in prison. However, this setback proved to be a turning point in his political career, allowing him to refine his strategy and solidify his image as a martyr for the nationalist cause. During his brief imprisonment, Hitler wrote Mein Kampf, My Struggle, a rambling and hate-filled manifesto outlining his political ideology and his vision for Germany. The book, a mix of autobiography, anti-Semitic diatribes and political theory, became the blueprint for the Nazi movement. It espoused a dangerous blend of extreme nationalism, racial purity and territorial expansionism, laying the groundwork for the horrors that would follow. While Mein Kampf initially had limited circulation, Hitler's trial and imprisonment thrust him into the national spotlight. He used the trial as a platform to promote his views, skillfully portraying himself as a patriotic German unjustly persecuted for his beliefs. The trial, widely publicized in the German media, transformed Hitler from an obscure rabble-rouser into a national figure. The failure of the Beer Hall Putsch taught Hitler a valuable lesson. Seizing power through force was premature. He realized that the path to power lay in exploiting the democratic process, using propaganda and persuasion to win over the masses and infiltrate the institutions of government. His time in prison, far from ending his political ambitions, provided him with the opportunity to refine his ideology, consolidate his support, and plot his return to the political stage. Section 5. Despair into Dominion, the Rise of the Nazis. The 1929 Wall Street crash sent shockwaves across the globe, plunging the world into the Great Depression. Germany, already struggling with the burden of war reparations and economic instability, was hit particularly hard. Unemployment soared, businesses collapsed, and millions were plunged into poverty. This widespread despair and economic hardship created a fertile breeding ground for extremist ideologies, paving the way for the Nazi Party's meteoric rise to power. Hitler, with his uncanny ability to tap into the anxieties of the German people, skillfully exploited the economic crisis to his advantage. He presented the Nazi Party as the only viable alternative to the perceived failures of the Weimar Republic, blaming the economic woes on Jews, communists, and the Treaty of Versailles. His message of national renewal, economic revival, and racial purity resonated with a population desperate for a solution to their plight. The Nazis' electoral success grew steadily throughout the early 1930s. They capitalized on the widespread fear and uncertainty, using propaganda, intimidation, and violence to silence their opponents and suppress dissent. Their paramilitary wing, the Sturmabteilung, SA, terrorized political opponents, disrupted meetings, and created an atmosphere of fear and intimidation. By 1932, the Nazi Party had become the largest political party in Germany, though they still lacked a parliamentary majority. However, the political landscape was shifting rapidly. President Paul von Hindenburg, under pressure from conservative elites who believed they could control Hitler, appointed him Chancellor of Germany in January 1933. This fateful decision handed the reins of power to a ruthless dictator, sealing the fate of Germany and plunging the world into darkness.